What's going on, guys? This is Kickback here with another Alamo Jam video, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about inappropriate items that were removed from Alamo Jam. Now, I did actually previously make a video talking about items that were deleted from Alamo Jam. However, those were not deleted with the reasoning being inappropriate. However, most, if not all, of these items on this list were removed from the game for seeming too inappropriate for the game. However, let's just get right into it. So first up here is the Mace Tail. This is a tail item and actually got into the game around the summer of 2014 when players actually rang up HHQ saying they got hacked out of these Mace Tails, and at the time Alamo Jam just blankly gave out these items without any evidence supporting these claims, so they just gave them out to the people that called up for them. So in total there was 5 of these Mace Tails in game with 4 different colors. 500, X500 and the player X had the red Mace Tails, the player 7 or Armory owned the pink one or the magenta one, J and J are cool owned the blue one, and then Wurt 12 owns the green Mace Tail. As for why I think these were actually deleted from the game at the time, well, it's an actual mace, which if you don't know what a mace is, it's a type of weapon, and having that kind of hang on your animal's tail is a bit violent for Alamo Jam, and that's kind of maybe what they saw when they saw this actually get into the game, so they ended up removing all of them from the game. But these were deleted from the players' inventories all the way back in 2014, so late 2014. However, it does still exist in the files nowadays. Next here is the squash chair. Now, the squash chair is quite the interesting item. I say this because the exact origin of this item is unknown. There is 2 theories to it. One, that it was sold in Epic Wonders temporarily before being removed from stores, and 2, actually being in the prize pool for the Twist and Turns adventure, which is a seasonal adventure that comes out around November in season for Thanksgiving on Alamo Jam. Now, personally, I'm more inclined to believe the first one because there is kind of a similar item in stores right now, even that is the pumpkin couch, and the theming of these 2 items seem very similar. However, why this item was actually removed from either the store or the adventure was because it looks inappropriate, and that's pretty much it. Now, it's still in the game nowadays. However, after they did remove it from either stores or the adventure, it was too late. A lot of people already got their hands on it, and surprisingly enough, this isn't an instance where they actually removed the item from people's inventories. Instead, they actually left them, and it's currently around 20 or so of a kind in the game, so there isn't that many in the game nowadays. However, quite the cool item in my opinion, just because of its backstory, and it's quite good for some nature dens. Next up here are the OG Skullys. Now, I'm not talking about the Skullys that were released in the Diamond Shop or the membership bundles, but the original Skullys. So these were actually at the time when Skullys were removed from the game, and it didn't look like they were going to be reappearing anytime soon, but they were a beta testing period item, and it was theorized that they were deleted because they looked inappropriate on pandas. However, a user named Batwing107 actually had a chance of getting one of these Skullys here, and they actually had it all the way back in 2014, so around July of that year they actually got this by trading for somebody else's Skullys. Interesting enough, when they actually put these on their animal, it didn't actually register on the animal itself. However, these Skullys actually got removed later in 2014 alongside most of these unreleased items on this list. However, they were later released into the Diamond Shop as part of a wild weekend sale. However, the original variant of the blue, brown, and white original Skullys from the beta never actually seeked its way into the Diamond Shop. Next up here is the horse coin. Now, horse coins are actually in the game, but I'm talking about when they were deleted before they were actually brought back. Now, horse coins were actually given out as a Forgotten Desert prize way back in 2014, and it was only obtainable through the first hour of the Forgotten Desert being released, so a good few of them did actually get into the game at that time. However, in October of 2014, all of the horse coins were deleted from the game. It was theorized that that it was deleted because it actually symbolized a logo quite similar to a beer company at the time, and there was actually no confirmation of that ever being a thing. However, the horse coin did make a brief reappearance in the game in late 2015, probably because someone saved it in their jamograms, similar to some other items on this list. However, it did end up getting banned. But luckily enough, in 2019, 10 horse coins were given out to people on an Animal Jam live stream event, and there are currently 8 known horse coins in the game nowadays due to 2 being banned. However, it is pretty cool that this item did make its way back into the game. Definitely one of the coolest items on this list. Next up here is the toilet. Now, I touched on this earlier on the list. However, these are in the game nowadays, but I'm going to be referring back in 2014 when the toilet actually got into the game after someone called AGHQ saying they got hacked out of the toilet and it was recovered to them. The last known player to have the toilet at the time was Nimichu, and it actually only lasted in the game for 5 days. My best guess is Almagen deleted it because they didn't want people getting inappropriate with it, and I don't really get why they do that when they literally had a poop item at the time. But the toilet made a reappearance all the way back in 2019 when 5 toilets were given out to players on a live stream event Alamo Jam held. Only 3 of them exist nowadays in the game because 2 of them actually did get banned. However, similar story with the horse coin. It is definitely cool to see this item exist again, at least, rather it being deleted for good, like some of these other items on this list. The next 2 items on this list here are the princess bed and the race car bed, and these were brought into the game, as you guessed it, from calling AGHQ for these items. Now, the race car bed was actually deleted in 2014. However, the princess bed actually survived all the way into mid-2015, most likely because a player kept it in their jamograms to kind of evade when Animal Jam was kind of doing a wipe of all of these unreleased items. However, the jammer that actually did save this princess bed actually ended up getting it deleted because they went public with it in 2015. Both of these beds are now deleted from the game and were probably removed for obvious reasons because they are beds, and I can assure you can use your imagination to think of what I mean by that. However, there is a princess bed promo item that was probably heavily inspired by the original princess bed in the games nowadays, and considering there's an actual bed item in the game now, it might not actually nullify the chances of the race car bed getting into the game once again someday. Next here is multiple items actually, and this is red paint items. Now, these were all removed from stores for a reason I will just get into. However, if you don't know, these items are actually available in the Art Studio store over in Coral Canyons. Now, when these items were first released, there was an actual variant of these paint items in red, as you know, paint does come in red. However, soon after Alamo Jam did actually release these, they actually changed the red variants of this item to orange, replacing anybody that did buy the red variant of the item in their inventory. It would change to this orange variant. Now, the exact reason why they removed this from the game is because it was inappropriate and because people were using it to resemble blood in game, and obviously Alamo Jam being the kids game, they don't want to promote that, and they don't want, for example, role players using this to their advantage just to be violent, so they, you know, swiftly moved it onto the orange color that's in stores nowadays. Then, wrapping us up on this list here is the Armory. Now, this is quite the interesting item, and this was actually got into the game around March of 2017, and it was owned by a player named Pugfluff, which some of you may know them, as they are now were a Jam ambassador for Animal Jam. However, back then they had this Armory item, and it was a den item. It's theorized that it was actually deleted because it looked a bit too violent, as you can see the absurd amount of weapons on it, but then again, it is an armory, and that's kind of what an armory is. But after this item did get deleted from the game, it was completely redesigned to be more flowerish. All of the items, or the weapons I should say, on this armory were replaced by plants. So it did look like for a second that Almajam might be releasing this item. However, that was a number of years ago at this point, and it hasn't been released or seen around the game since then. I definitely do prefer the first version of this item. However, the flower version of the item would be cool for some nature dens. Let me know which version you guys prefer in the comments though. But yeah guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video here. Had a lot of fun making this list in particular. If you guys want to see more lists like this, let me know in the comments below, and you know, I'll get working on them. But yeah, as I said, it's gonna wrap up the video here. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you guys do want to be notified on future videos, as well as videos just like this one. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, and let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. What was your guys' favorite item on this list? Personally, mine was the horse coin. But I'm excited to see what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next one.